A short lesson in Esperanto. Mi estas amata. Mi estas amata. I am being loved. Mi estas amita. I have been loved. Mi estas amota. I'm about to be loved. Mi estis amata. I was loved. Mi estis amita. I had been loved. Mi estis amota. I was about to be loved.
Quien costos la coco? Quien costos la coco? Emma, ¿cómo estás? ¿Comprende?
I love George.
¿Qué estás, George?
He's the most wonderful. He's my boss.
And then an engenda?
Yes. Absolutely, completely, terribly in love.
Depois quién?
Well, I'm not sure. At first, I thought it was only recently, but the more I think about it, the more I realize I've been in love with George the entire time I've known him. 4, maybe 5 years.
Para vin horas?
Yes.
And que nem os tiras?
I couldn't. He was married.
Oh.
I can't believe I actually told someone.
Okay. Jen, quien? Vidivas fare. Vidivas diriali.
Tell him? Oh, no, I couldn't.
Vidivas!
In Esperanto?
Oh, in English and whatever language you're familiar with.
But I'm pretty sure if you were going to fall in love with me, you would have done it by now.
It does not matter. You must get it off your mind, get it off your chest. Unless you do, Esperanto will not enter you. You have too much fear, too much doubt, too much angst.
I don't think I can.
Okay. Second story of Dutch girl.
The one who broke your heart?
No. She was beautiful, this Dutch girl. 6 foot tall and built like a Viking. She could swim in frozen rivers. She could catch rabbits with her bare hands. She taught me how to cook a fish and build a Cleo. Oh, I was in love, and everywhere it was summer.
And then?
And then come the best man.
The Basque man.
Yes, the best man. With his beret set in a rakish angle.
What happened?
What do you think happened? There was no match for the romance and mystery of the best man. I tried to keep her, but it was a new door and already she was fumbling for the keys.
So what did you do?
What could I do? I told her I loved her. I told her I could not live without her. I told her the sun rose on this shoulder and set on this shoulder.
And?
And then she left.
Didn't she understand you?
Of course she understood. She was Dutch. She spoke more languages than I.
But then I don't understand.
Okay. I was heartbroken. But while I was in love with her, I could not learn a single language. She was a master speaker. How could I let her see my inadequacies? But in telling her that I loved her, something inside me loosened. She was gone, yes, but she left the door open. And that is why you must tell him. Oh, not for him, never for him, but for you. I know this is your greatest fear, but you must face it. Otherwise, how will you ever be free?
I'm not sure I have it in me.
You do! Love makes warriors of us all. Homoshkil, mine konostim. Men such as me have no fear. Say it. Homoshkil, mine konostim.
Homos kiel, mine konos timen.
Homoshkil, mine konostim.
Homos kiel, mine konos timen.
Homoshkil, mine konostim. Now, go out and say, George, I love you.
George, I love you.
George, I love you.
George, I love you.
George, Mia Mas Bin.
George, me a mas vin.
George, Mia Mas Bin.
Oh, I leave the office and I feel great. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I'm going to walk into that lab and tell George exactly how I feel. Fear be damned. I can't wait. And then I realize it's a beautiful day. People passing by are beautiful. The women with their babies are beautiful. Even the bakers are beautiful. And suddenly, a breeze lifts across my face and brings with it. Excuse me, but what on earth is that incredible smell?
It is the smell of bread.
Where's it coming from?
There.
I follow his hand and see the Blue Tulip Bake Shop. The sunlight hits it in an angle that makes it look so perfect, so beautiful, like someone's movie idea of what a bakery should look like, except it's real. It's right there. And it's like in those cartoons, you know, where the scent of food becomes a hand and then the hand's fingers lift the character out of their seat. That's what I feel is happening to me. And in the back, I see the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my life.
Welcome, welcome. You don't know it yet, but you are the luckiest person in the world.
Why?
Because this is just out of the oven. Hurry, it won't be the same if it cools.
It's so good. Mary?
Do I know you?
Well, No, I must have mistaken you with another Mary.
Another Mary? How marvelous. I've never been mistaken for another Mary before. What can I do for you?
Well, I was walking past and I smelled your bread.
Well, we have sourdough, of course, and then there's lavender chocolate, 4-grain lemon pomegranate, wild honey and pistachio, fig and manchego.
And you bake them all yourself?
Oh, yes, I bake them all myself. I bake bread all through the night, and when the bread is gone, I close the shop and go home and go to sleep. Sometimes I dream I'm baking bread. And so it goes from a waking happiness to a sleeping happiness and back. It's like water being poured back and forth between 2 cups.
And you're that happy?
Oh yes, the happiest I've ever been in my entire life.
How did you come to do all this?
Well, quite recently I left my husband. That was a hard time.
Why did you leave?
Well, it sounds strange to say it, but the truth is I was sad. I had simply become too sad to stay. And so I left. I left without much, just a suitcase, and I didn't really have a plan. And then I was at the train station wondering where I should go. And then there was this old man. He asked me for the time, and we started talking. He said he was a baker, but that he was leaving his bakery. Why, I asked him, and he said he was tired of baking bread, that he had never wanted to be a baker, but his father had been a baker, and his father's father had been a baker, and so on and so forth. His name was actually Baker, if you can believe it. Anyhow, this man told me that he had decided enough was enough. And so he locked up his shop and put up a sign that said, "Closed until further notice," and he was off. And then I noticed that he was carrying this very odd box. And I've always been the curious type, so I asked him what was in it. And he sighed a great sigh and told me that it was the one thing he couldn't leave behind. It was his inheritance, the most precious thing he owns. It was his starter.
What?
His starter. All bread, you see, comes from a starter. The most common is the yeast you buy in little packets at the supermarket, but it's alive, you know, it's a living organism. And truly great bread comes from truly great starters. The older it is, the richer and more complex it is. When I first started baking, I heard tales of starters that had been handed down from generation to generation. Ancient starters that had been kept alive for years, for decades. But keeping a starter alive takes time. You have to feed it, watch it, make sure it doesn't die. And this poor man had been tethered to his starter. His father handed it down to him, made him the keeper of the starter. How could he abandon it? And as I heard this story, I got this strange little tingling feeling in my chest. I heard myself say, "Give me your starter, let me take care of it." And as soon as I heard myself say it, I understood that it was nothing less than my heart's truest desire. I wanted this starter. I wanted to bake bread. And I have no idea why. But this man must have seen something in me that he trusted, because he gave me his starter. He gave me the keys to his bakery, and now he's off traveling the world like he always wanted. And that's how I wound up here baking bread. Isn't that a marvelous story?
So, you won't go back to your old life?
No, never. I belong here now.
You don't miss your husband?
No, I think of him, worry about him, you know, but no, I don't miss that life. It's not who I am. I couldn't go back. It's not just that the door is closed, it's that I don't even know where the door is anymore. Now, what can I get you?
I'll take some of what you gave me.
An excellent choice.
There is nothing more wonderful than warm bread.
So true.